Going in, Dikembe going, no, not here. Shaq loose. Say what, one guy? Come on. First half. Shaq having his problems. Backs in. Mutombo is there. Blocks it. Missed the dunk. Later in the half, Shaq, baby hook. Now, good position by Mutombo. Forced Shaq out a little deeper than he wanted to be. 3 for 11 in the first half, just 7 points. But Kobe ready to go. Blue Bayou on Allen Henderson. Then, again, thumping it down. Yikes. Second quarter, though, Isaiah Ryder keeping the Hawks in the game. Ryder off the screen from Mutombo. Putting this up, knocking it down. 11 for 24. Hit 33 points. Third quarter, more from Kobe Bryant. In the pull-up jumper here on Jimmy Jackson. Lakers by 16 points. Fourth quarter, you eventually will learn to fear his Shaq Fu. Even on an off night, Dikembe, you're not blocking that. Shaq fouled out in the fourth. He finished 4 for 15, only 9 points. But it's a jump shot league, folks will tell you. And Bryant doing it. Season high 30 points. Dikembe Mutombo wins the defensive skirmish in the paint, but the Lakers win it 95-88 the final. Shaq would be at 500. Someone's got to step up for Antonio McDyess at a bad back. Roy Rogers knocks that shot out on Derek Martin. Meantime, Nick Van Exel putting the clamps on Jason Williams. No highlights this time. Watch this. Clean strip. No poster on me, son. Williams turned the ball over 5 times. Williams struggling again. Van Exel here, the strip, and got it. The reward. Cut the Kings lead to 2. Van Exel on offense. Never up, never in. Shooting at will. Burns Williams here. 16 for 31. Bank shot. 31 shots. He had 14 in the third quarter. Fourth quarter now. Nick Van Exel with the strip and the layup. He had 5 steals in the game. 38 points. Nuggets taking this one. Scary moment here. Peja Stojakovic coming down on Chauncey Billups' left arm. Billups leaving with a dislocated left shoulder. But again, Denver in case game. Jeff Boschee to the transfer from Texas. Luke Axtell way outside. Jayhawks up by 4, and then they get it done on defense as well.
Down against Gregory. Gets bumped and taken away by Axtell. Well, he got Gregory. He said, that's the Columbus. I'm the Columbus Condor. And there's his mom and dad. They said, that's my boy. That's my boy, Kenny Gregory.
The Kansas D doing the clamp down. Brett Darby loses it. The outlet for Gregory. He's doing shit-ups. The guy from Columbus, Ohio, had 17. Big game for him. Another guy from Columbus also with a big game. Michael Redd, that sweet lefty stroke. He had 20 and 10 boards. Buckeyes down 10. They cut it to 5. Scooney Penn driving. Rough game for Scooney, but Ken Johnson there for the tip. Ohio State cuts it to 3. But Kansas with some great young talent running some floor.
Look at that hustle. Look at that hustle. Look at that hustle. They think he'll be a star. You can see why the Dukies wanted him badly. He said no to Duke. He said no to Iowa. He said, I love to be a Jayhawk.
Dickey loves Nick Collison. Then the sophomore Boschee. He's a point guard and a pure shooter. Kansas up 11. And then Nick Bradford to Collison. Wall. Bam. On the trapeze. Kansas wins it by 13.
Look at this, Michael. Thank you. 7 for 11, 19 points for Martin. First, Bearcats up 2. Martin with 2 blocks. He's eating this one. That was not one of them, though. Called for goaltending. Bob Huggins didn't like it. He'd get teed up. The freshman, DeMar Johnson, with an outstanding game, hitting a long 3. He was 3 for 5 from 3. There's another. 8 for 12 shooting overall, 23 points. Did not miss a free throw either. Another 3. 6 for 6 in the first half. Bearcats by 11 at the half. Kenny Satterfield here, causing the turnover. Satterfield looking for Kenyon Martin. 17 boards to go with 19 points. His 16th career double-double. Cincinnati takes Bradley with the lead early on. Damon Fishback putting this up for the 3. Auburn now down by 1. Off the inbounds pass right after that play. Doc Robinson with the steal. Reggie Sharp knocks down a 3. Auburn now up by 2. Second half, Auburn now up by 13. David Selby with this shot going up. Attempted shot. No! Swatted away, Chris Porter. Another one. No, swatted away by Chris Porter. Get right, like football season there for Auburn now. Porter with 3 blocks. Auburn leading 71-53. Chris Porter dump. And Auburn takes it 78-64. They've won 5 in a row. Mamadou.
It would be funny if it wasn't so comical. Pat Riley minding his own business. Doink right off the head. They eventually got the ball cleaned off. Play would continue. Glenn Robinson. He is a big dog. Look at him. Through the lane, beating the D. Bucks up by 1. Early in the fourth, Glenn would get up. Tim Thomas to Vinny Del Negro. Vinny feeling it. 15 points in 21 minutes. The Bucks go up by 2 in Miami. Late in the fourth, Alonzo out to Vashawn Leonard, launching parabolas. He had 7 threes off the bench for 29. Heat down 1, under 20 to play. Dan Marley taking it right to the rack. Sweet move. Heat goes up 1. George Carlton needs a TO. 7 seconds left. Who do they go to? Not Robinson, not Cassell, but Ray Allen, who is clutch with the fadeaway. He had 28, Bucks up by 1. The Heat with one last chance. 1.7 seconds left. Anthony Carter. Hail Mary? Hail no. George Karl and the 1-3 straight. Jerry Stackhouse and Antoine Jameson. They'll get their degrees from North Carolina Friday. Grant Hill to Stackhouse, back to Hill. Stack with 11 assists. Hill with 25 on the night. Fourth quarter. John Starks spotting up. He's good. He had 20 as well. Later in the fourth, Warriors down 6. Starks looking for the guy out of Pittsburgh, Vonteego Cummings. Long J, that's good. He had 18 Warriors, cut it to 4. Still in the fourth. Here come the Pistons. Lindsey Hunter, Jerome Williams clears Christian Laettner inside and the foul. And the Pistons go on to win this one, 116.
Steve Francis, Steve Francis, Steve Francis, Steve Francis from the University of Maryland.
I just want to be happy, where I'm playing, and also, do some of the things that I did in college that made me such a great basketball player, and I'm going to continuously do that. It wasn't the city. I think that, my family situation was my grandmother, and some of the other things that, I had to think about were definitely a state of me going to Canada. To play here in Houston is something that, I've always wanted to do. I went to junior college here in Houston, and I came to some Rocket games and seen the guys play, and I was real grateful when, I found out that I was getting traded to Houston.
Institution of higher education.
Where'd you go?
Not the guy. Bowling Green, thank you very much.
There you go.
But here's a guy they could have took there.
Yeah.
That's right. They could have taken Tracy McGrady. They have passed on a lot of talent. And surprisingly, McGrady, they could have had Vince Carter, another guy that got away from them. They could have had Rafe LaPrince, another guy that got away from them. And they took Mike Bibby, small point guard, who was playing well. But still, when you have that first pick, you've got to get a guy who can really lead and carry your franchise. And when you miss on players like Carter and everyone else, it makes it tough for them.
I tell you what, one thing that's for sure, this is the last coach that Stu Jackson is going to get to fire. And they know that. Stu Jackson's in the last year of his contract.
He's pushed to the Chief, making away down second quarter. That's up 7. Keith Van Horn takes the pass from Stephon. 3 is a family. That's up 7 at the half. Move to the fourth quarter. Wizards now up 3. Jahidi White takes the pass from Mitch Richmond. Fights off Van Horn. The hoop, the foul. He had 9 of 11 shots in a start. After the free throw, Wiz up 6 under 20 seconds left. Nets down 4. Marbury going to drive to the hole. Circus. Oh, and 1. It's more than just a shoe company. Nets down only 1. Nets down 2 now under 12 seconds left. Kittles takes the inbound drive. Going to miss the reverse. Van Horn's there, but gets called for the offensive.
Jacks are on course to be very good, but not yet on track to be great. To be a truly special team, Huggins wants to see Cincinnati put teams away, to maintain concentration and defend for 40 minutes, and to avoid an over-reliance on the intimidating presence of Kenyon Martin, who has vastly improved his offense and his passing. Huggins recalls similar praise of his team at this time last year and doesn't want the Bearcats, Arizona, Michigan State, and Stanford, all top 5 teams that have overcome adversity. Michigan State is a contender even without Mateen Cleaves. Arizona is beating veteran teams with freshmen and sophomores. And Stanford has 4 new starters plus Mark Madsen out with an injury. Each could be in the Final 4. Under the boards, Jay Bill. That guy's talking to, he'll be a free agent after next year. Fourth quarter, Nets up 5. Keith Van Horn, a Falk client, gets Michael Smith in the air and then abuses him.
Game against Columbus, Ohio's Buckeyes. You broke their heart one time. You said no to them when they were recruiting you, but you broke their heart tonight.
This one's a little more special because I just wanted to come out. They had a lot of success last spring, and I heard it during the summer from our close friends Mike Red and George Reese, so it's a little redemption for me and the guys.
I'll tell you the one thing I really admire about your game, Kenny, is you know your strengths. I mean, obviously right now the perimeter game, shooting the jump shot is not one of your strengths, but you take advantage of your strength, and that's to get to the basket.
I mean, Coach preached to me this season is take advantage of what a God blessed me with, and that's using my athletic ability, getting to the basket. So that's what I try to do, and then when the open shot's there, I just take it on occasion.
Well, congratulations. You really played well.
Gotta introduced. Cougs playing well in this one. Shooting well from the outside, 6 of 13 from the field, had 17 points. Again, led the team in rebounds with 14. third quarter. Suns up by 4, Jason Kidd on fire. The pull-up jumper goes. Suns by 6. Kidd led all scorers with 32. Then former Blazer Cliff Robinson from downtown Corvallis. Suns up by 8. Suns on a 20-2 run. Robinson from downtown Pendleton. 4 for 4 long distance in the third. 23 for the game. Suns up by 14, and then Kidd puts it away. Suns win it 110-102 on 111 out of 12 early on. Kobe, great move. He had 28 points. Kevin McHale can only shake his head and wonder. Second quarter, Lakers up by 11. Kobe on the break. The behind-the-back pass coming up here. Oh, behind-the-head pass to Shaq for the bucket. Kobe, a career-high 12 assists. Shaq, 24 points, 13 boards. T-Wolves do come back. Zerbiak, Garnett, the alley-oop. Kevin had 28 points. T-Wolves hanging within 8, but then Glenn Rice drains the jumper. He had 23. Lakers years. That's Josh Shoemaker for the hoop inside. Wake Forest out rebounding the Panthers 54-27. Robert O'Kelly the 3 there. More Wake Forest here. O'Kelly from the corner. He had 14. The high point.
Their high school team was maybe, as good as any in the history of Illinois basketball. A lot of people argue that maybe the best ever.
What Manuel accomplished here and Coach McLean and his players, they'll be legends. They are legends.
I hesitate to say the word legendary, but it's becoming that way because throughout my high school career, you always knew about the guys in Peoria.
Those guys dominated the decade in Illinois prep competition. Manuel's multiple musketeers included the coach's son, Sergio McLean, the effervescent power broker, Marcus Griffin, and the quicksilver messenger himself, point guard Frank Williams.
My whole deal was just not to screw them up. I don't know how much I coached them. I was trying to coach less and watch more, and just to keep them screwing up because they were so talented.
Who was the best?
Of us 3?
Yeah.
Nah, I say Marcus.
You're pointing at each other.
Say me.
Well, you got Player of the Year, and Frank got Player of the Year. And what happened to you?
I got McDonald's. I got McDonald's All-American.
Ever since our sophomore year, we had promised each other, that we were going to go to the same college, and, we was going to keep our word. I didn't know they had to recruit us as a package, or it wasn't, they didn't have any hope.
They turned out to be Illinois. But even though Griffin had to spend 2 years in junior college, and Williams, a year younger than his amigos, sat out last season as a partial qualifier, the trio is reunited and bubbling over again in Champaign.
As much as anything, they've got real confidence and a trust in what each other's doing, and I think that probably shows as much as anything.
Frank just knows where Serge is going to be all the time, and they got the down low connection with Marcus now, and it just seems everything seems to flow when the 3 of them are playing together, because they just the other 2 guys in the court are just I can't just chess pieces out there.
It's a chemistry, a certain pride, kind of a cockiness when we get out there. Guys we beat up on in high school, these are the same guys we're playing now. So I mean, nothing's going to change, and we're going to go out there and give it our best.
Peoria, Illinois has been a hotbed of hoops history for over half a century. Hometown Bradley University played in 2 NCAA championship games and won 4 NIT titles. But the team that's brought the most glory to Peoria is Manual High School in the 1990s. 4 state championships in 4 straight years.
We're not Manual basketball players anymore. Now we're U of I basketball players, so that Manual stuff is in the past. We're starting right now.
We've been in wars, We played Oak Hill and, William Avery and Kevin Garnett, Ronnie Fields. We played the best of the best, and we beat them. So, we know what it takes to win. And, we're going to go out there and do it.
With the 3 of them here, and with their knowledge of how to win and what it takes to win, I think they kind of motivate the rest of us in that we saw all their success in high school and know that they actually do know what it takes to get it done, and we kind of look to them to, lead us in that respect.
Second quarter, Hornets up 6. Watch Baron Davis, the around-the-back pass to Brad Miller to Eddie Robinson for the layup. If you didn't believe the pass, watch the wraparound dribble before it. How about that? Davis had 5 dimes in 23 minutes. Hornets with 29 assists on the night. Third quarter coming up. Take a look at Derek Coleman on defense in the spot shadow. Okay, Derek Coleman not on defense. The Matador, Kemp the Bull, just 6 for 18 for Sean, but the Cavs got the Hornets lead to 1. Later in the third, Hornets on a 17-0 run. David Wesley to Eddie Jones, lays it in. He had 14 in the third. The Cavs only scored 15. And the Hornets, with a bargain basement magic, just a game under 500. Vince Carter and Butch Carter. Vince going behind his back and taking it into the layup. He finished with 23. But the Magic hitting the offensive glass. Watch Bo Outlaw save the miss. Then Darrell Armstrong saves it again. Ben Wallace finally comes up with it, gives it to Outlaw for the jam. Magic 18 offensive boards in the game. First quarter winding down, Monty Williams throws up the half quarter. Got it. Junior, wondering when Orlando will get a major league team, watches his NBA team down 11 at recess. Third quarter, the Magic's D steps up. Darrell Armstrong the steal. Corey Maggette, 2 of his 6.
And maybe take number 1 down. All happy before the game and staying happy throughout. Cincinnati up 1 here. Alvin Brown ripping it off. He goes on in. Xavier up 18-17. And the bench is up and into it. Xavier up 2. Darnell Williams launching a 3. And Xavier's up 5. Kenyon Martin and Bob Huggins. It's an answer about a hominin. Bearcats down 8 at the half. Now down 5. Kenny Satterfield off the backboard. Martin throws it home. 3-point game. He had 16 in the game. Xavier right back. Maurice McCaffrey launches and hits the 3. Xavier's up 49-41. He had 17. DeMar Johnson inside. There's Martin coming home. Would convert the free throw afterward. I say would. And Cincinnati's up 1. Pete Michael driving. He's scoring, but it's waved off. An offensive foul is called. Here's Xavier up 3. McCaffrey lost it on the drive. Michael pushing the other way. This one will count. Bearcats are down 1. He led the Bearcats with 17. Cincinnati's ball down 2, 18 seconds to go. Trying to get it to Johnson. Lloyd Price knocks it away and gets after it. Rodman-like calling timeout. And the Musketeers got a chance. Up 2. The inbounds. And Kevin Fry, he'll just push it to the rack. Xavier's up 4, 8.9 to play. Now down to 3.3. Xavier up 2. Price is at the line. Both! Missed the shot, got his own ball, threw back the mess. Time expires, and Xavier pulls off the upset. And Wright working it inside. Gets the ball out to Richard Jefferson, back to Wright. Arizona's up early. Later in the first half, Nebraska trying to hang in. Gary Cohorn, Larry Florence. The alley-oop is good. Arizona up 8, though. And running away in the second half is Arizona. Richard Jefferson, Lauren Woods. He's tall. Arizona by 20. Later in the second, Gilbert Arenas going for the layup. Not good. The right is, and Arizona's winning.
Took on the Kings. Scott Skiles trying to get his team focused. First quarter, Jason Williams. Oh, look at that. To C-Web for the jam. Kings up 4. More on Weber in a moment. Second quarter on the break, Jason Kidd's looking for Rodney Rogers. He throws it down. Rogers at 15 starting for Gugliotta. Suns led by 24. Bad news for Weber. He left with a strained neck in a second. He would not return. Kings claw back, though. Williams finds Corliss Williamson coming down the lane. He had 20. Sacramento with a 9. But this game was all Jason Kidd. Hesitation move and the hang, the kiss off the glass, and the tip back with the rebound. That was his 10th. Then in the fourth, Suns by 10. Jason, why not? Long range as well. Buries a 3. He had 27, 14 boards, 14 assists as the Suns win at 119-103. Thus, Van Exel brings it up. As he attempts the jump shot, the lights go out of the Pepsi Center. So literally, Nick Van Exel shot the lights out.
He did.
He did. Lighting failure. Game had to be late for 28 minutes. Greg Popovich and Dan Issel talk things over. Finally, they got the power back, and they decided not to let Van Exel touch the ball the rest of the way. Ron Mercer did, though. Spin move. He had 25 points on the night. 21 seconds left. Nugs by 1. Mario Ellie inbounds pass. Stolen by Brian Stiff. Eddie's foul. He missed the free throw, though. He had 14 points, and John Lucas had about 14 exclamations. Nuggets by 2. 7.6 seconds left. Roy Rogers, doink, misses the second free throw. David Robinson, the inbound to Tim Duncan for the win. No. Barely draws iron. Not even.
Milwaukee's up 8. Sam Cassell to Ray Allen. He hits the 3. Bucks by 11. Pacers get back in it later in the third. Indiana's down just 2. Mark Jackson, Jalen Rose through people. He had 11 points in the third quarter. In the fourth, Milwaukee's up 3. Glenn Robinson, he will hit the 3. Bucks back up 6. And then Robinson, 3 more. Had 13 in the fourth quarter. And Milwaukee morning. He's after Anthony Mason. And he's sending that thing away. 1 of 9 blocks for him. Tied his own team record. Same sequence, morning. He's in the post. And he's working on Mason the other way. You used me. 2 of his 18. Heat up 4. Fourth quarter, the Hornets are going. Eddie Robinson takes it away from Morning to Baron Davis. Davis, fancy pass. Back to Robinson. That there is a basket. Hornets jumping out by 13 now. Later in the fourth, Brad Miller. Bobby Phills back over his head and back over Robinson. Robinson 11 off the bench. Charlotte.
Jazz running. Stockton to Malone. Malone 14 to 26 in this game. Utah down by a point. Same quarter, tied at 75. Dikembe Mutombo, no. Denies Jacques Vaughn one of his 5 blocks. Isaiah Ryder, nice bounce pass to Jason Terry. Or bounce pass in English. He had 11. Double hits the Blazers. Bounce pass to Rogers for the jam. He's trying to get there. More Jason. And you really can't get enough of Jason, can you? Kid 1 rebound short of a triple-double in the first half. Weber leaves late in the half with a strained neck. Third quarter now, Kings try to rally. The Thriller through the lane. The hoop, the foul. Kings down 17. Now down 78-67. Williams to Williamson. Cutting to the hoop for the flush. Kings down 11 after 3. Fourth quarter.
Around. The lead is 94-87 late in the fourth. The Pistons finish up. Stackhouse and Grant Hill. Ricola. Pistons up 189. And then to finish off, the jump ball, Jerome Williams gets it and takes it and is uncontested. Stackhouse, a big day. The diploma in 20.
Carolina taking on Miami. Ed Cota, second half. Oh, goes around the back to Max Owens for the layup. North Carolina up 61-48. Take another look. During this game, by the way, Cota becomes the first player in ACC history with 1,000 points, 800 assists, and 400 rebounds. UNC up by 9. Michael Simmons with the save to Elton Tyler, who throws the long pass to Johnny Hemsley, who scores and he's fouled. Helmsley had 21. Miami within 6. But Carolina up 5 under 2 minutes to play. Joe Forte finishes with the layup. Late first half, game tied. Quentin Richardson trapped on the sideline. Finds Paul McPherson, who was untrapped. The Paul up by 2, and they led by 2 at the break. Second half, here come the Bruins. UCLA up 3 when Earl Watson hits freshman Jason Capono, who hits the 3 from the corner. We did the math, they're up 6. Capono for 3 from the wing. UCLA continuing to run. Watson to Rico Hines. He'll miss. But show me Dan Getzerich. Thank you. Bruins went on a 20-4 run to start the second half. Up envy. Dallas had lost the rebounding edge in every game they'd played this season, 1 shy of the NBA record. Hey, I'm sorry, but it's true. Size does matter. Mavs, T-Wolves, Kevin Garnett and company have not won a road game in the U.S. this year. Think about it. Second quarter, Bobby Jackson up court, gives the nice ditch to KG, who throws it down. Game high 27. Minnesota by 3. Fourth quarter, Mavs trailing by 3 when Michael Finley, strong to the hoop, and the emphatic jam. He would complete the 3-point play. He had 26, game tied at 97. But game tied at 99, just over 2 minutes left. Sam Mitchell, baseline jumper, a season high 13, and Minnesota goes on to win. Winner of this game, Steve Francis launching. He had 15. Meanwhile, still rising. Patino Mobley to Kelvin Cato for the slam. Meanwhile, still rising. Shandon Anderson looking for Kelvin Cato, and the Rockets' red glare, the dunks bursting in air. Take another look. Cato 11 of 13, 27 points. Fourth straight win on the home wood. Don Casey and the Nets trying to improve on their 1-9 road record. Second quarter, Scotty Burrell grabs the offensive board, and look out! Nets up 3 at the half. Third quarter, Nets up by 16. Kerry Kittle around Sura. Nice baseline jumper to rip the net there. He had 4 of 10 shots, Kittle did. Later in the third, the ball gets around to Stephon Marbury. He slashes through the lane, the floater over the Rain Man. Basically, that's rain over the Rain Man, isn't it? Showing their age via extended losing streaks. Victory for someone next. Share the same basketball court. It's the holidays.
Division I AA, Youngstown State and Georgia Southern. Adrian Peterson going places, 247 yards, 58 here. Weebles wobble, but they won't fall down. He scored 3 touchdowns in the game, and Georgia Southern is your winner, 59. After the loose ball, the blind pass, conks up a Patrick Ewing's mug, Jahidi White comes away with the dunk. Ewing's okay. Wizards up now, 63-56 in the third. And Michael Smith with it. Lobbing to Juwan Howard. Fancy pass to White. Ewing's head not available. White, 15 points, 10 rebounds. Fourth quarter, Wizards up 9. The inbounds play. Richmond, he'll just finish on his own. He had 19.
Takes the inbound, and what the heck. Against the Bulls, everything goes. He had 9. Magic led by 4 after the first. Second quarter, Chris Gatling blocks Michael Ruffin. Fast break the other way. Corey Maggette. Very nice. Style points. He had 3 points, but clearly those were his best 2. Magic by 1. Third quarter off the Ron Artest miss, which happened a lot. Darrell Armstrong, outlets. One of his 7 dimes to Tarek Abdul-Wahed. He had 9. Tim Floyd
going the other way. Left it for Desmond Mason. He had 23, and that was fancy. Oklahoma State up 3. UNLV down 1 here. Mark Dickel, the alley-oop. Chris Richardson throwing it home. Rebels up 1. Second half, State's going well. Glennon Alexander in orange through the basket.
Could save the slam dunk competition a couple of years ago when the league decided to put the show on the shelf due to lack of creativity. But it looks like one player can single-handedly bring the dunk competition back. He's Toronto's Vince Carter. Carter recently came back down to earth to talk.
Last year, maybe when you took somebody off the dribble or dunked on somebody or hit a jump shot, do you remember a point where you realized, oh, not only do I belong here, but I can flourish here?
Probably against Indiana when I got the dunk, what they call the dunk, here at SEC, night in, night out on TV. I gained confidence there. That's when I set my career high. I think it was like 28 points, and I felt my confidence just continued to rise every night in, night out.
All right, I asked you this summer. I'm going to ask you again. Out of all your dunks, what's your best, do you think, and what's your favorite?
You know, one that nobody talked about was against Chicago. It was here. I did a windmill in transition off the fast break off one leg. First time ever.
Last year?
Last year. Chicago here. Nobody remembers that.
Off one leg?
Off one leg.
Not the standard 2 legs?
No, it was off one leg, running in transition. Dribbled the ball down, just took off one leg and did a windmill.
Now, you're not supposed to glare at anybody after a dunk, but I've seen you a couple of times. You'll dunk, and you give like a quick, like when you land, you give like a quick, and then you like wheel around real quickly, don't you? Yeah. you get it a little bit.
Like I said, it's just emotion. It's just something. Sometimes I bring that off-season game into the to the game. Sometimes when you dunk on a guy, sometimes you want to let him know. Sometimes you just give him a quick glance. He sees you because he's always looking at you as he's dunking. You're like, God, yeah, I can't believe you did that.
There is this perception in the league. If you dunk, you flex, and you dunk and you holler running down court, you're not considered professional. You know, it's that old adage, you know, act like you've been there before, act like you're going to go there again. Why is it that it's viewed as immature for somebody to dunk and show emotion?
I don't know. I think emotion is a big part of the game. A lot of people feed off emotion. Teams feed off emotion. But they feel it's wrong. But you can tell it's an adjustment because a lot of guys who are in my class, when they dunk the basketball, they're going to show their emotion.
Some of the criticism of both you and Tracy is you all get so involved in feeding off of each other because you're cousins. You get so involved in the dunks and the showboats that you sometimes forget about the team.
Now,
fair or unfair?
I think it's unfair because it's far from true. If you look at this, we haven't had as many dunks as last year. We were dunking like crazy last year. I think in 50-some games we had 120 dunks together. You know, but like I said, people go off looking for that, and once you see you do dunk it, the next year it's like, okay, that's all they look to do, and that's not true. I think if you look at my assists has gone up this year because of it.
Vince, when you're a special talent at this level and you know it, how do you keep from letting that get to your head?
It's easy. My mother, number one, always keeps me grounded. She's always there. She's a big critic and she's telling me what I do good, and then she also tells me what I need to work on. And I love the criticism. And then Coach, I mean, I had my career high versus San Antonio. And after the game, he was telling me everything I did wrong. So it always keeps me grounded and always keeps me working hard.
We would be remiss if we did not
Crossover drives right past Kobe Bryant and finishes with the scoop. Take another look as Carter had 29 points in this one. However, the Lakers win at 94-88 still. It's our play of the day.
Against Detroit at home. First quarter, Pistons by 3 off the Aaron McKee miss. Oh, Iverson full extension. Twist to the layup, draws the foul, gets 13 in the first half, and he is hippity-hop. Second quarter, Pistons by 6. Grant Hill, we call this coast to coast. 21 points in the first half. Pistons are leading by 9 at the break. A typical Sixers game, except they come back. Aaron McKee. Iverson waving him home. I hope that's what he's doing. Sixers by 3. Still in the fourth. Christian Laettner with this. There's been a Christian Laettner sighting. Nice passing back and forth with Jerome Williams, and Williams finishes it off. Williams hit in the eye during the steal, but he did not knock the referee down. Pistons up by 1. Seconds left. Larry Hughes from way downtown. Bang to tie it. The Pistons' three-point lead is gone, and then in overtime, Pistons again up by 1. Eric Snow, pump fake. Then at the buzzer, this one falls too. The Sixers tie it up in the last seconds of regulation and win it in the last second of OT. 122 reverses his favorite direction. That's pretty. He had 25. We're tied at 25. Still in the second. Through rain, through sleet, and foul lane traffic. The mailman delivers, although he fell on me bum. Hit 29 points and 13 boards. He was okay. Third quarter. Up another steal. Armstrong to Ben Wallace. Big Ben. That 6-point lead. 45 ticks left. Tick, 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 tick. Magic down a deuce. Pat Garrity. Magic's only 3 of the game right there. Now Orlando up a deuce. Jazz with the last chance to tie it. Howard Isaac. The clock expired before Malone hit the shot or even took it. So the Jazz take one on the chin. It's a tough one here in Boston. Well, here we go. I have to work the paint to be effective. And the big man did. The board, one of his 20 on the night. However, he would miss the free throw. There's a surprise. Second quarter, Kenny Anderson charged with grand theft basketball. Head to Walter McCarty. I opened my mouth way before I dunked. Part of a 15-1 run. And where is ML Carr with the white towel? Third quarter, Shaq, the ditch. Been so effective down there on the low post this year to Rick Fox. Then Kobe. I mean, bombed this Shaq. What about in the fourth? Kobe, who has led the team in scoring in every game on this road trip. Between the twigs and the little floater, he had 27. Shaq, 34 and 20. O'Neal had 34 points despite hitting on only 8 of 17 from the floor. We get the chance to fill all the dead spots, and but just the history that the floor has. It was great for me to come here and play here the years that I played here, and as well as my teammates. And it's ironic that we beat the Lakers versus the Celtics on this last night on the parquet floor. Plus, there's all that change you can find. Sunday, fourth quarter, Knicks down 6. Allen Houston coming alive, nailing the jumper. And then Ward, Litois, and how about Spree? Working it from outside. They used an 18-0 run to take an 8-point lead. Great googly moogly. What's happening? Late in the fourth, Eddie Jones. The triple, he had 23. 2 of his free throws would tie it at 97. Same score in the fourth. Houston for the win, like against Miami last year? No. Patrick Ewing? No. He was just 3 of 11 from the floor. We're headed to extra hoops. Lucky us. In overtime, Spree to Marcus Camby throwing it down. Spree had a huge game on this night. Hornets.
Chris, you see what's happening. The ball is going to be...
He slams. And he was fouled. No, he did not make the free throw. Lakers by 2. Later, it's Kobe. Shot clock running down. Just shoot, Kobe. Just shoot. Gotcha. Lakers up by 9. More where that came from later. But the Celtics would later have an 11-point lead. Calvert Chaney steals, going to the rack, and he can finger roll. Celtics bench all excited, but not for long because there was too much Kobe. The ill feed behind the backs of the big fella. Lakers down by a bucket. Then Lakers up 3. Kobe with a sick dribble. Oh, get off me. You got to be kidding. And he tops it right in. Kobe with 27 points. Lakers put it away this time with Shaq. Not scoring, but passing. Robert Horry cutting like a hot knife through butter. Lakers flat out getting it done. We pick it up with Antonio McNice. The follow, the Nuggets up by 10 points. Time running out against one of the best.
I'm Teron Lue, and I play point guard for Los Angeles Lakers.
He's running the show. So this
had to be great for you coming out here to L.A. because you're close to your hometown. Mexico's only about, what, ain't about 100 miles. Ain't about 100 miles from here.
Oh, well, you got the wrong Mexico. This is Mexico, Missouri.
Mexico, Missouri? Where is Mexico, Missouri?
It's about an hour and a half from St. Louis, about 2.5 hours from Kansas City.
So now, how many people live in Mexico, Missouri?
13,000.
So, when you play in a game, most nights in the NBA, there's more people at the game than live in your hometown.
every night.
Trouble with the dribble. 2 seconds. Lou beats the horn. Got it!
So now, growing up, one of your goals, obviously, was to play in the NBA. At what point in your life did that goal become reality? I mean, where you really thought that you could play in the NBA?
After my freshman year in college, I finally realized I had a chance to make it to the NBA. My coaches told me I had a chance. And so I just continued to work hard, but they said it'd be hard for me since I was so small. And I just continued to work hard, and I finally got my chance.
I would think that you heard you were too small a lot during your career.
Yeah. I was 5'9" as a sophomore in high school. Then my senior year, I was like 5'10". Then I happened to go 2 inches when I was in college.
Tyrone Lue coming in. You can't miss him. He looks, they say he's 6 feet tall. I don't think so.
The height obviously has not held you back.
Yeah, I try to use it to my advantage because of my quickness. So when guys are calling me, I just try to take advantage of it by using my quickness and speed to get around them. You know, a guy my size have to have a lot of heart out there on the floor. And I just go out there and have fun. I have a lot of fun by playing hard.
You are Mr. Excitement. I mean, I'm telling you, when you get off the bench, right away it's a spark.
Yeah, I think it was like that in high school and also in college. I've always wanted to push the ball and get the ball off the court. And that kind of became my role once I made it to the NBA. I'm just, play defense and try to build off my defense. And the shots come, they just come. But, we got guys like Glenn Rice and Shaquille and Kobe, so I really have to shoot that much.
If you had to tell some kid growing up that had a dream of playing in the NBA, that didn't have all the tools, wasn't 6'9", what would you tell him?
I mean, it's all about the hard work and your dedication. First yourself in the classroom, getting your grades and make it to Division I in order to get a chance and opportunity to play in the NBA. And just to work hard and don't let nobody tell you what you can't do, because I heard it so much in my life, and it helped motivate me. So just play with your heart and determination, and I think you'll be fine.
I still think Teron...
The Seattle Supersonics. I think I'm very versatile.
Baker twitches, turns, off balance, turns, it goes, it does! Now Cecilio, low right, hook, rejected, reloads, missed it. Grabbed his rebound away from Robin, one dribble, powers to the hole!
I'm just going to come out and give 100% on both ends of the floor.
Ben Baker out-hustling the defenders down the floor.
We have this thing called the torture chamber on our team. We got a hot guy, keep going, keep going, and keep going. The chamber, for me, consists of catching a bigger guy and going to buy him on the wing, or catching a smaller guy on the post. Everyone starts yelling on the bench, put him in the chamber, put him in the chamber. We feel like we have the best player in the league on our team, Gary Payton.
Payton head down, Rollini dribbling into the floor, drop steps, he steps up and lays it home!
He's the most competitive person, I think, in the league. I think he brings it on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively, better than any player in the league. I like R&B a lot. Rhymes, United Boys, and that. Kind of smooths me out before games, and then when I'm on the court, if I'm trying to do a move or something in the post, I can kind of feel that R&B. We were playing the Bulls at home, and Michael was there, and obviously there was a big crowd there.
Coming to get it, Hawkins with 6, drops it low to Baker with 5. For the game, the shot! He got it with 3 seconds remaining in the game. Ben Baker with a fall-away jump shot makes it 91-90 Seattle.
That was probably the most exciting time, because I was just adjusting and getting new there, and not a lot of people didn't know, who's this guy that's coming to replace Sean Kemp. God has blessed me and my family with everything. people could ask for. And, you know, now I want to be able to win a championship and at the same time help other young players coming on.
Yeah, just give us a yell if you're ready for Rewind, Jays. Thursday, Monty Williams gives us a scoop to his former team. Wow, Kendall Gill takes a trip back home to sweet Chicago.
Oh, he threw one in, and he got fouled for running our gut.
Friday, things were getting pretty wacky in the Hive when the Nuggets felt the sting of rejection.
3-on-1, Posey on the run out, missed the dunk. 2-on-1, Keon's open, Chauncey lob, Keon missed the dunk. McLeod against Mason lobs, and McNice denied on the rim.
Now, if you want to know how to put the ball in the hoop, just watch her. Or check out another Williams. Go strong to the hole.
Michael Curry, Jerome for the jam.
Saturday, Scott Williams was in the house, but he was watching Nick at Night blow by the entire Bucks team.
Oh, gorgeous move, Dick Van Exel.
How about Harry the Hop? He shows you can go through the legs while Ron Artest would prefer an over-the-shoulder look.
What about that move by Ron Artest?
Man, nice body
It was the Kings versus Blazers for a game of pinball, and Steve Smith gets it going full tilt.
4 seconds. Smith sees the clock at the horn. If it goes, oh my goodness.
Tuesday, this is what you call a head-to-head matchup. This is what you call a facial.
KG holds it high and throws it down. My goodness.
Hey, these guys can throw it down too, but Kobe can do it without the trampoline.
Here comes Kobe with Fisher. Gives the fish underneath the Kobe. Slammed up.
Enough about airtime. How about some floor time for Alvin Williams as this? Wednesday, Baron Davis takes off against Minnesota.
1-2, will he go all the way? Yes! Facial on the star.
Baron Davis says, I don't care about the big ticket.
How about Shammond Williams? Now, that's a big ticket right there.
He goes to match point, this time left baseline. Drives on Williams, up and under. Negro looking for the first man. Pulls down nicely left corner.
Swatted away by Floyd.
Well, that woke up nearly everyone in the building.
5, ready and action.
Because it's not my fault everyone's not 7-1. It's a commercial for a video game. Oh, yeah, big shot. O'Neal? That would be me. That's how I do it in real life.
In lower shot. Two around his man. Reverse slams up with a guard.
This particular video game, you get to have powers.
Jack has it against Green. Powers to the hoop.
Oh, Big Shaq got the handle too. Big Shaq got the handle too. Big Shaq can dribble that thing too. And when you look at the graphics, it's just great graphics. It's like looking in the mirror. You know, when I look in the mirror, how handsome I am. I gotta pause a second. You know, it's hard being me. It really is. I get rid of the extra players. I'm just here throwing out some jam. In this case, it's still a commercial. I'm the best commercial doer in the NBA. I paved the way for all the other young guys doing commercials. I'd like to accept this award for the best commercial doer of NBA history of all times. I'm just the greatest. I know. Thank you. I try to make all my commercials memorable. Try to use all of me, whether it's a smile,
so it don't.
Hustling Laurie. Inside the shack. That was inhumane.
And remember, it's not my fault. Everybody's not 7-1. Disappointed me greatly because the Rockets went out of their way to get Scotty. The fans have treated him well, and I was just disappointed in him.
He could never expect an apology from me. If anything, he owed me an apology for coming and play with his sorry fat butt.
Playoff spot, but Nick Van Exel is trying to live up to that contract. He's playing at a very high level. Ron Mercer, when he's been on the floor, has been good. Rafe LaFrentz is back from the knee injury, and Antonio McDyess really hasn't played as well as he did last season. Public. What Silas is doing is publicly, he's not giving Anthony Mason any room to complain. He's giving him playing time. He's giving him...
Sit back and let's enjoy it.
Play. He gets it out deep, and Havlicek steals it. Over the stand goal. Havlicek stole the ball. It's all over.
Here comes Willis. And the crowd is going wild. Johnson will come in and jump. Johnson gets it into Bird, and Wilkins is there. Bird comes free.
Thomas having an incredible period. Back to back. Yeah.
Because of the HIV virus that I have attained, I will have to retire from the Lakers today.
When I walk away from the game, I won't miss the cheers because it was there. It was there. I can remember those things, but I don't need it to live.
Stockton with the ball front court left. He looks to Karl Malone. He's got him low. The mailman jumps it. Shot up. It's good. He did it. He did it. John Stockton.
At the end, and it's just a matter of wanting to do it.
And with it, of course, the championship. George, 20-footer, head of the key. Good! Chicago by 1.
That may have been the last shot Michael Jordan will ever take in the NBA.
steal. Stack alley-oop. Pretty unselfish basketball. Don't there. That's where you got to go. Finley to the hoop, to the dunk. Yep, and a foul.
Jerry got a hand on that and was able to deflect. Oh, what a pass to Weber. Oh, boy.
Look at the ball movement from Charlotte as Eddie Robinson drops the short jumper.
The Suns. Rogers on the baseline. Arvidas got a piece of it. Arvidas had a big night blocking basketballs last night. David, a little show and go. Scotty with the finish.
Robinson with a lethal touch. 2 consecutive hoops for him. Charlie Ward from half court.
It's good. Sixers needed 2 this time. Snow with a ball fake. Almost blocked. And Snow at the hole. Sixers win. KG holds it high. Works on Henderson. And throws it down. My goodness. The Lakers who come up for air. Dribble drive, Kobe. Dribbling through the key with the ball behind his back. Bingo! That's good. Kobe did a dazzling dribbling exhibition.
Tonight, Gilbert Arenas, one of the newcomers, the freshman from the corner, knocking it down. New Mexico would take a big lead, though. They would forge ahead by 8 here. Waylon White ahead of the break. Nice little lay in there, catching the Cats napping in the first half of this game. Then Gardner. Nice skip pass, deep triple, knocks it down. First lead of the game for Arizona was at 34-33. Then New Mexico doesn't defend Gardner deep, and he knocks down that triple for the two.
He had 4 blocks on the night. Here's another one on Kerry Kittle tonight. This is my favorite one from behind on Keith Van Horn. Ooh, pinned it. 4 blocks on the night. He's in the top 10 in the league in that department. That's 15 points. Vince Carter past Kendall Gill. Butch Carter once saying, you know, even at his worst, if he never develops, he's no worse than a Kendall Gill. And he blew by him right there for 2. Tracy McGrady somehow with a circus shot. And then more Vince. Look how high he gets. Whoa, 6.
That's all you can say.
To steal a Kenny Smith line.
To graduate is just a feeling of, you know, accomplishment and satisfaction, definitely for myself and for my family.
It's important. It's probably the most important, you know, thing that I really achieved in my life so far.
With the influx of underclassmen entering the NBA, both Jerry Stackhouse and Antoine Jameson followed the trend. And for Stackhouse, the decision to leave after only his sophomore year was an easy one.
My mother was ill. She had breast cancer, and she was diagnosed with diabetes that year. And bills were piling up and things, and I just felt that there was opportunity for me, knowing that I could be a high pick in the NBA draft, to go ahead and kind of secure that for her.
And when he decided to declare early for the NBA draft, one of the first things he said was, I'm still going to get my degree.
Jerry, to come back and get his degree is really remarkable, I think, in 4 summers, because he left at the end of his sophomore year.
You hear so much about, oh, they come back all the time during the summertime. I'm like, yeah, right. And Stackhouse walking around campus with a book bag in his bag, and I'm like, you know, this guy is making all this money, and, you know, he just had a great rookie year. You know, the question was, you know, what exactly is he doing? Because even though I was a freshman, I just completed my freshman year, I understand exactly where he was coming from.
Where Jerry was coming from was all part of Carolina head coach Dean Smith's philosophy.
It's a situation where he wants the best out of all of his players, and whether it's guys who are able to go and make a lot of money in basketball, he wishes the best for them. But if it's guys who are not able to have that talent, you know, he still wants to encourage them to make the most of their situation.
Coach Smith and his whole staff just does a tremendous job of not just recruiting great players, but good persons also. And, you know, just that whole philosophy of life and education, I mean, you really understand what they're definitely coming from.
With that in mind, Antoine left school early for the NBA, knowing he had not seen the last of Chapel Hill.
You know, there's so many stereotypes about athletes these days. You know, oh, he made it to the pros and he's making all this money. You know, he's not going to go back and finish and get his degree. So I wasn't doing, you know, to please them or to please my family. It was just something that I felt I had to accomplish.
Saturday, December 18th, 1999, the Dean Dome. In the same building, both Antoine and Jerry gave Tar Heel fans so many highlights, the two former players enjoyed their own academic highlights.
Every time I step, through that tunnel, it's a little nervousness, but, once I was out there, like always, I settled down and was comfortable.
I feel like, the ultimate game because, you go through that tunnel so many times. Right. And you have so many memories of just going through that tunnel. And going through that tunnel with my cap and gown on was very special. And like I said, it signifies my first, moments here at Carolina, now the last moments.
But this day was more than just for the graduates. It was for their families who witnessed two men fulfill lifelong dreams.
So how proud are you guys right now?
Well, to express how proud I am.
I ain't never learned how to shout, but I feel like I think it's for my family, past and future. I was raised I was a baby of 11, so only the third of my mother's children to graduate, and and I'm very proud about that, and it's just. For my kids, for them to have, to say that, my mother and my father had their college degree, that's something that they can also be proud of.
This is not a time to cry, it's just a time to rejoice, and I'm just happy. I want to smile all day, I guess.
And you? Oh, I'm elated. I mean, I'm just like Christmas. This is probably going to be the proudest moments of their life. It was okay that he got drafted and made it to the NBA, but he has a college degree. And I know for my mom, I'm the one of 3 kids, and I'm the first one to achieve that. That's something that she can be proud of.
Great. This series is going to be played, and driving early with a big follow-up flush. Gilbert Arenas, he had that monster junk followed up at 40-37. Gardner to Lauren Woods, Arizona's up 4. On the ensuing play, Kevin Henry for 3. Oh, and a late foul. It's 60-60. 68, 10 seconds to go. Lamont Long shoots. Short. Roland Hanna to follow. New Mexico's up 70-68. Last chance for Lute Olson's team.
A good look at the basket. Here's your pass.
Jason Gardner, his shot would count. Oh, just off. And they've got a lot of time with 1.4 to go. And how about Franz Schiller, though, walking away? Indiana, this is, of course, part of the Jimmy V Classic. From the outside, A.J. Guyton buries a 3. Later in the first, Guyton, crossover, see you later. Off the window past Max Owens. He had 20 at the half. They're up 4. Then he told a great pass inside to Brendan Hayward, who slams it home, 51-47. Later in the second, Joe Forte takes the inbound pass. High, loader. Forte had 17 and 61 all. But late in the game, Indiana gets busy. Some great passing. Finally, they kick it to Michael Lewis. 1, 2, 3. Lewis with 8.
And I really wanted to get to the basket a little more, but I started knocking down my jump shot, and that was all she wrote.
Well, we take a look right there. He's shooting the jumper.
Yeah, I was just getting in the rhythm and just finding the rhythm. That's all I wanted to find, was a nice rhythm to get the ball going to the net.
Well, you moved well without the basketball as well, and that's an area Coach has been working with you on.
He's been harping on that for 3 years, and I've tried to get better and better each year and trying to do what Coach wants, and it's worked out for the best. I think it'll help me later on down the line.
Michael, what about the technical? He got that to me when you walked over.
All we want is a little bit of respect from Dickie V, that's all.
Well, I've given them that respect. They earned respect tonight. They beat a good North Carolina team, and the reason, the play of A.J. and the play of Michael.
And wore the Rockets uniform. They lost in the playoffs, and now he's in Portland. And tonight,
at forward, 6'7" from Central Arkansas, number 33, Scottie Pippen.
One of the top 50 all-time.
In fact, Scottie was booed every time he touched the ball at Compaq Center. He had 6 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds in the first quarter. Watch the rookie Steve Francis. He's ahead of the pack. Little mustard. And Francis with a big dunk. He had 14 on the night. Rasheed Wallace from Scottie Pippen. That's the flume. It's thick. And now Pippen knocking down a long jumper. And Pippen knocking down a 3-pointer. Scottie 13 points.
I'm not sure if they were booing or saying on Rutgers taking on Florida Gators. Teddy Dupay finding Mike Miller. Dupay's had problems with turnovers. His assist-to-turnover ratio not great, but a nice assist there to Miller. Gators up by 9, second half. Florida's built it to 11, and Miller, this guy can just flat-out score. Stroking from 3, Gators by 14, and here's DuPay with another assist. Thank you very much. Adonis Haslam, mighty Gators. Hammer and indoor, Duke and Davidson first half. Shane Battier, fundamentals, Carl. It's all about fundamentals. He's ready to receive the basketball, and he strokes it home. Duke up 58-37 at the break. Second half, Chris Carrawell driving. Battier, where are the hands, Carl? Where the hands? Ready to catch the ball. Ready to catch the ball, yeah. The ball was not really delivered on the mark, but Battier makes it work anyway. Career high 31 on the night, and then the freshman Carlos Boozer, the new version of the Alaskan Assassin, driving to the cup, and Boozer again getting it done. 21 points for him. As Duke. That's taking this whole Millennium thing one step too far. Alvin Williams, no good. Oh, Charlie Oakley with a great tip pass to Kevin Willis. Taking a look at it. That's just veteran leadership. 9 boards, 3 assists for the Oaks. Raptors are up 66-39. Baseline's racing to Grady. Oh! Raptors are up 75-45 at the half. Forget fundamentals in this game. Meantime, Raptors. Christie, no. Whoa! Where did Vince Carter come? 14-point win over Kansas this weekend, and Sergio McClain steals it. Corey Bradford had 19 points. Game tied at 45 in the second half. Tied at 49 now. How about Kenyon Dooling? 1, 2, 3. Tigers up 52-49. He had a career-high 25. Missouri's up 5. Clarence Gilbert. And a foul. Missouri hit 71.
You know, those are things that make you come out and rise to the occasion. You know, I anticipated it was going to be tough for us to come in here. And, you know, also that, you know, the fans are going to try to get on me and get me rattled. But, you know, my style of play is just to let the game come to me.
There's a rules violation in the NBA, or at least it was there. Word on Jason and the Kings coming. Kings, Vlade Divac beating Big Nasty for the baptism. Kings had an early lead, time running down. Opening quarter is Jason trying to make something happen, and Vlade Divac does. Sticks it back home towards Carl and his Bucks down 34-23. Second quarter, Trey Allen. Oh, from infinity and beyond. Kings would answer right back. Jason Williams. Speaking of deep, bottom. Williams knocking it down, 15 points.
Parquet floor, and there's Bill Russell and Bob Cousy talking about the good old days. The Celtics were inspired by it tonight. Adrian Griffin with the Antoine Walker alley-oop and jam. Celtics up too early. Still in the first now, off the miss. The ball is tipped out to Griffin, and here we go, off to the races. Just outran everybody and jammed it home. Celtics up 12 after 1. Second quarter, it's Kenny Anderson getting into it. Drives and then finds Mr. Walker coming right down the lane for the jam. Boston up 50-32 at halftime. Third quarter, more from Walker. Nice spin move, down double teamed to the paint with the reversal and a ghost. 24 points for Walker. The Celtics say farewell to the parquet floor with a 98-8. KG gets it to Wally Zerbiak, and we're slamming it home. Oh, wouldn't all the coaches around the world.
First quarter, Celtics up 7. Kenny Anderson, he's fancy. Eric Williams, a little more traditional over there in the corner. The 3, Celtics up 14 after 1. Anderson, 10 assists. Second quarter, they're up 17. The pass off the backboard, that'll start up the break. Anderson to Antoine Walker, uncontested. Celtics up by 19. Near the end of the second, clock winding down. Dana Barros. Williams hiding over there in that corner. Celtics with 9 threes on the night. Boston up 50-32 at the break. Swan doing donuts on the baseline. Look at what he can do. Celtics up by 21. They go on to win this one. 90, Larry Johnson. Larry forgot to move. Toronto down 2. Next possession, Carter. Showing off the range. Ties this one at 86. Now, 25 seconds left. Patrick Ewing has struggled on big shots throughout his career. Not this time. Ewing took just 5 shots all night, but he puts the Knicks up 2. 16 seconds left. Carter. They go to him for 3. Negative. Larry Johnson clears. He made both foul shots to put the Knicks up 4. Less than 3 seconds left. Knicks up by 1. Latrell Sprewell front rims it. We got a chance. Doug Christie with the Hail Mary. Hail no.
Kings, the Sacramento Kings. Jason Williams and Chris Webber, one of the deadliest combos of setup and gunner in the NBA. Open, you've done your share of the TV stuff in the past, but Jason, and you don't speak on the commercial, but you and Randy Moss, whose jersey you're wearing from his Viking days, but you go way back to your high school days at DuPont High, and now Nike's making a pretty big deal out of this with a great campaign. Let's take a look at the ad a little bit and then get some of your comments on it.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
Now, we see some of you at DuPont High, and these are great highlights here. This makes it look like Moss could play in the NBA, but those little kids aren't even you?
No, they're not us. I really don't know who they are. I don't have any idea.
Do you like the ad?
I mean, it's good. You know, I think it fits us, you know, the theme and where we're from and everything, and, you know.
How many parallels do you see between yourself and Randy? You know, the doubters, the things that happened, and then bursting onto the scene. And he was the Rookie of the Year. You came pretty close to it in a situation where people didn't really expect that coming in.
I mean, I think we're similar in a lot of ways. You know, we've both had some bumpy past, and, you know, we've had some good past, and hopefully we have bright futures. But, you know, we just want to play ball and have fun.
How much do you get to talk to him now?
Probably like maybe once a month, you know, during their season. Especially now, they're kind of struggling. They better get in the playoffs.
Chris, you remember you were Rookie of the Year. How much did you help him along last year and sort of say, here's what this is about, or here's what that's about, and kind of show him the ropes and say, hey, don't freak out about this, or, you know, just try to help him along?
I'm sure once in a while I said something, but really, I really try not to really just give him advice and, you know, all of that unless he asked or unless he saw it. You know, he's a real humble guy, so if he's thinking about something, he'll ask, but I didn't want to be a type of overbearing person like I know it all, that type of thing. I think, you know, you have to go through some things for yourself to find out how you get through it. So really, I don't think I gave him that much advice unless he asked me about something.
What did that playoff run do for you guys last year, especially against Utah, the reigning champs of the conference, who everyone thought was going to succeed the Bulls as the titleists?
Well, first, Coach reminded us that we didn't win, so it didn't do much for us because we didn't win a series. But if it did do anything, you know, it helped us realize that as long as we put maturity with our youth and our athletic ability and our energy, you know, if we put maturity and wisdom with that, we could have a bright future. So hopefully we can learn some lessons from that and kind of play like some of those teams.
What was it like this year, Jason, when you go 9-1, best record in the NBA? You guys come bursting out of the gates, and it looks like you're going to be the best team in the league. Was it hard not to get too caught up in that?
No, I don't think it's hard. I mean, I'm not the kind of person that gets caught up in things like that, and I think it was good for our team to get started like that because I know the season's so long, and we're going to have our runs, but we're also going to have our, you know, times where we're not doing too good, and, you know, that 9-1 kind of gave us a little cushion, but I'm not saying that we should. You know, we tried to lose these games that we lost, but, you know, it was good that we got off to a good start.
Well, then you lost 3 in a row, and then you come back against Milwaukee, which is a quality team, and Chris Webber's missed the last couple of games. You come up and have, in terms of points, the best game of your career. How much of that was stepping up because your buddy was not going to be able to play that?
You know, I don't think any of it was, you know. I mean, it's obvious that we all had to step up as a team, you know, because when he's out, you know, he's a pretty big part of our team. And, you know, just people asked me that last night, too, about the scoring. And, you know, I just try to step up every night. You know, I try to score more if I have to. I try to get more assists, rebounds, whatever I have to do to help my team win.
You know, Jason talked about the parallels with Randy and the problems in the past and things like that and getting over them and trying to lead a different life now. One of the reasons they brought Steve Fisher, and at least the outside influence, was to say, okay, this guy had Chris Webber at Michigan. He's a guiding influence to him. Now he takes off in the middle of the season and goes down to San Diego State. Right after he got that job, he came on up close, and here's what he said about the relationship those days and what he might like still from you in the future. Here it is.
I think that we'll miss one another. I think the fact that Chris, the relationship we've developed, and there's a bond and a loyalty that goes both ways, that it made the relationship so strong and so good.
You know, he does have some eligibility left.
I made that statement when I took the job at San Diego State, and we talked about getting new people. I said, he left after 2, he promised me 4. We'll count the King season as a 3rd. He owes me 1.
He could use you.
Yeah, he could use it. They had a tough one against Arizona State. We saw him up there. But he's going to be all right. I think he got a big recruit. I think he got Bill Walton's son for next year. So hopefully he can help them out. So they're going to be all right at San Diego. We at Michigan, we're not going to be the same until we get somebody like him back there.
How much do coaches from the past influence you? You know, some of them haven't worked out too well, Don Nelson, Wes Unseld, but Steve Fisher obviously still has a very fond relationship with you, and you still have talked with him. How do these things build over the years, and you still use them to help you today?
Well, besides Coach Nelson, Wes Unseld didn't coach me, so everybody, I've had a great relationship. Probably the closest was my high school coach, Keener, and Curtis Hervey, my AAU coach, because they probably were the toughest on me and probably made me the player that I am today. I think, you know, we as NBA players or professional athletes really have to credit the people that really first got to us. And when I first tried to play, I couldn't play. I was on a team that Jalen Rose was on, and I used to see Howard Isley and Rashawn Leonard playing in Detroit, and I couldn't play. And so I'm glad that I met, you know, Curtis Hervey and Coach Keener. So I really credit them. And then when Coach Fisher, I credit him for teaching me how to be a man. In college, you know, he gave us leeway with repercussions, but he would always let us know this is what you can do and this is what you can't do. But as long as you play hard for me, you can wear long shorts. I don't care how your hair looks. You can be the individual that you are. And I really respect him, because then it wasn't a popular time. We were called, you know, thugs because we had bald head and long shorts, and he let us do it. So, you know, I thank him for his loyalty to me.
You know, Wes Unseld, the GM of then the Bullets, now the Wizards, and traded you away, and he had his ups and downs. He's had some flattering things to say and other things that he said wish had worked out better. Had a triple-double when you went back to the MCI Center. How much of that was, I want to show these guys? Come on.
Well, you know, truthfully, it was like, I don't feel like I need to show them anything. If I'm going to be honest, I felt like I showed them everything I had for 4 years. Playing hurt and coming back from a shoulder injury, and then not having a surgery, trying to make the playoffs, and then having the surgery, and then we making the playoffs. So I left everything I had in D.C., you know, so I didn't need to show them anything. I thank the fans for coming out, and if anything, I did it for the fans because they still give me respect there, and that's the most important thing to me, is the love I get from D.C. So if anything, I just wanted to have fun with the fans.
Yeah, well, you had a great performance there, and these two guys are lighting it up in the NBA, and we're just getting started on this season. Where do they fit in the hierarchy? The Lakers have the best record in the West right now. Are they the team to beat? The Kings have got a lot of company near the top of the Western Conference. We'll talk about the road ahead, and we continue up close. Jason Williams and Chris Webber of the Sacramento Kings. And Jason, you said, you know, I know Gary Payton because we had him on the show. He had a lot of jawing for you the first time you met, and then you said he doesn't say much to you anymore. Nick Van Exel said some things before you played. In fact, he said in print before you guys met, if I was to do it, talking about the flash that you have, it would be like, you can't bring that playground ball to the NBA, but when he does it, it's like, oh my God. Did you know about those statements before you played him?
No, but, you know, I mean, you know, I think he's just speaking his mind, and, you know, maybe he's seen some situations that was the truth, you know, or whatever, but, you know, he's just stating his mind, I'm sure.
He lit you up for 38. You didn't have a particularly good night that night. What does a bad night do to you?
Well, you know, it kind of gets you down, but I think once we leave the locker room, it's out of our mind, and, you know, we'll just focus on the next game.
You haven't done much of this. You know, you're one of the, as I said, the 55 jerseys, the top seller around the entire league, not just in Sacramento, where it's the highest priced jersey in the where they sell the gear. Why have you been reluctant to do much media work?
I don't really know. You know, it's just I'm really a shy person, and I'm sure if you ask some people close to me, they would disagree. But you know, to me, and you know, I know myself, and I think I'm shy.
Is he shy?
Yeah, I'm sure. Like if he doesn't know you or have a close relationship with you, yeah.
He's a lot different with you.
Yeah, but with me, nah, he a fool. That's what he is. But he definitely is shy around people who doesn't know.
Now, recently, you know, no more Dennis Rodman in the league, and Charles Barkley got injured and he's out. How does that feel to not have to deal with those guys in the box anymore?
You know, in a way, it's kind of sad. I remember the first job I had was Rodman giving me a job at his camp when he was in Detroit, and I remember being a McDonald's All-American and meeting Barkley, and that picture of me meeting him and Rick Mahorn was still on my home wall. So, you know, both of them in some ways had influences on my life, and so in a way it's sad. I know for myself, a power forward, I always wanted to play the game like Charles Barkley. My demeanor and the way I acted on the court when I was younger, the way I tried to dunk, the way I tried to speak my mind. And, so, you know, a lot of that, you know, you'll miss seeing with them, you know. So you'll miss the battles. I'm sure against those guys I played probably some of my best games because, you know, I looked up to them when I wasn't in the NBA.
Do you feel a changing of the guard now in the league? Do you feel like you're part of that?
I really don't know because I don't know what
the guard is.
Right. You know, what they're changing from.
Are the Lakers the team to beat? You guys beat them at your place. You know, they got the best record. They got Phil Jackson now. Is that the team you look to in this conference?
I don't think so. You know, I think it's pretty wide open. You know, on any given night, any team could beat anybody.
And you hope that one of those is the Sacramento Kings, and more often than not, right?
That's right.
It's been great to have you up close. Chris Webber, Jason Williams, best of luck. Hope to have you back again before too long, and best of luck the rest of the way. Join us Friday.
Eminem, Kid Rock, and Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit all started out as provincial white kids with a perhaps not all that promising passion for black rap. This year, though,
be a race car driver.
You know what? Hey, listen. It's been real. I'm gonna go be a race car driver.
Unlike the rest of the year's rap-loving white guys, Eminem has no interest in rock fusion. He remains totally devoted to pure hip-hop with its hardcore rhythms and killer rhymes.
The lyrics is just off the hook. I mean, in my opinion, there's not too many people out there that can touch them, if any.
Y'all don't even see through the mix. How the can I be white? I don't even exist.
I want to have a voice in hip-hop. I want to have a voice. I want to be able to speak and people listen.
Despite all the millions of records Eminem, Kid Rock, and Durst Limp Bizkit sold this year, some people still find something, well, kind of funny about suburban white kids trying to act black.
I'm pretty fly for a white guy.
But these new crossover stars aren't just Vanilla Ice-style posers. They're genuine products of the rap revolution of the 80s and 90s. And now they, too, figure they've got a right, a birthright, you might say, to walk this way.
He's defending Allen Iverson and watching the ball in the post with Tyrone Hill, but the problem, he loses sight of Allen Iverson. When you're guarding Allen Iverson, you've got to stick to him like a Siamese twin. Everywhere he goes, you go. Now Iverson's going to drift to his right. Now, most normal shooters are not going to take this shot from that far out, but Iverson is not your normal shooter. He buries the deep jump shot. Now some Stefan on offense. Just a quick offensive player here. Larry Hughes is going to do the smart thing, going to adjust his foot so that he forces him middle. Why? Because you got a nice bit of congestion right there. A bunch of big guys, but Marbury's got a lot of talent. Watch how far he starts at 1-2 right near the free throw line. Kind of disappears in the pack, re-emerges at the other side, and then hangs, spins, and makes a very difficult play, gets fouled, and one. Now here is Iverson. Now watch Kerry Kittle. That's the Heisman pose. No Heisman posing in basketball. No. He's dead right now. But Marbury, I talked about his defense. He's going to hustle back and just make a great play hustling on the block. Blocks the shot, and Marbury probably likes this. Knocks Iverson down into the basket support. And Allen didn't like that one bit. But the thing with Allen Iverson tonight, he shot the ball 26 times. He had 20 free throws.
Richardson knows how to take everybody to school. 10 in the first half. Blue Demons up 13 at reset. Second half, Richardson to Paul McPherson. Oh, we'll let the grunting run its course. Paul up 16 and rolling. And then they're putting it away. George Baker finding Stephen Hunter. Look at the big fella run the floor. I would, too, if nobody was in front of me.
Get that one back. Yeah.
At 85.
Mauricio spinning off.
Earl Watson for the high-arching bomb for three. Bruins led it by 3. South Florida gets a chance to tie it, though. Reggie Cohn finds a wide open. B.B. Walden just hanging out by the three-point line, and he nails it down. We're going to go over overtime here. We're all tied up in overtime now. Bruins up 2. From Iso. Takes the pass, and Sharif Abdur-Rahim. Look at the moves. Nice reversal. Part of the 10-zip Grizzlies.
Scottie Pippen, the drive, the dish. He's multifaceted. To Rasheed Wallace for the Hammers. He had 9 early. Hit just 2 straight.
Against the T-Wolves, Terrell Brandon. That's a long 3, and it's good. Minnesota up 22-18. Brandon 16 points in the first half. Seattle within 2 in the third. Gary Payton. Always the man. Hits at Seattle up 1, one of Payton's 7 threes. He had 33 points in this game, did Gary. Minnesota down 1, Terrell Brandon. Goes in for the layup, can't find it. Kevin Garnett, rebound, one of his 14, and he had 23 points in this game, did KG. T-Wolves led by 4, still in the fourth. Wolves on the fast break. Ahead to Garnett, kicks the door in. Wolves up 7 against Seattle. Let's flash back now, shall we? December 8th, last seconds of the fourth quarter, Brent Barry hits the 3. Seattle gets 110 points. What does that mean? That means free food for everyone in Key Arena when, you get 110 points. Flip Saunders unhappy. Back to tonight, okay? Fast forward, please. Yep, exchanging words between Mitchell and Barry. Brent Barry would leave the game because he would be thrown out. The Timberwolves win 109 Harlan count. First half, Bucks down one, Irvin Johnson. Misses from there. Scott Williams is there at the buzzer. Bucks led by 1 at the break. Second half, Milwaukee on the run. Glenn Robinson would strip it. Sam Cassell brings it up to Ray Allen. Nice finish. 8 assists for Cassell. Tie game. Bucks would lead, though, under a minute and a half left. Bucks would lead by 8. Avery Johnson, David Robinson, who gets the layup and foul. The lead would be cut to 5. Now, suddenly, we only have 4 seconds left. Spurs within 3. Jaren Jackson. Nice try. Bucks hang on to...
And Kentucky run, ESPN, great game. Charlie Bell driving, dishing. Jason Richardson enthusiastically. He had 4 points, 8 boards. Spartans led by as many as 15 in the first half. Tubby Smith says to his son Saul, draw charges. And Saul does. That's the second he drew in 2 minutes. Foul trouble really hurt Michigan State. They had a 2-point lead, the Spartans did. Jamal McGlure, no. Offensive board, they kick it around. J.P. Blevins eyes it, tries it, finds it for 3. 12 offensive rebounds for Kentucky. Michigan State down 2, 6 seconds to go, last chance. Andre Hudson. This is for the tie. Fouled, no call. They get a tip, but it's too late. Kentucky hangs on behind McGlure's 18 points and 11 at Wilmington, and this is Kenyon Weeks. Turning defense into offense, he finds Mike Miller, and Mike lays it up for 2 of his 20. He was 5 of 7 from the floor. Gators by only 5 at halftime, but they open it up in the second half. Weeks, another steal, and he's not going to give it up. He had 20 points tonight on 8 of 11. He now has 1,000 for his career. Gators up a dozen, and then it's Udazis Haslam, Teddy Dupay, Justin Hamilton throws it down. He had 9 in the Gators.
A big Quentin Richardson. That's Q setting the screen, stepping back, hitting the 3. 20 points for Q. DePaul up huge, 42-29 at the break. More DePaul in the second. Richardson shares. DePaul McPherson. DePaul up by 16. Do the math in your head. Next, DePaul series. Richardson. Q. Outstanding. DePaul wins 82-61.
Don't let Allen Iverson drive to the bus stop. He hurt his Bentley. Is much bigger than Rock.
Armstrong thinks 2-car accident today. No one was hurt. He was ready to play in New Jersey, and Iverson taking it the distance. Nets led at 53-43 at halftime. Fourth quarter, more Iverson one-on-one with Stephon Marbury. What a matchup that is. Iverson, ankle breaking. Sixers still down 10. Nets led at 80-76 New Jersey. More great passing. Inside goes Marbury. He had 21. Nets by 6. Under a minute left. Sixers down 2. Iverson stops, pops. Can't get it to go. So the Nets would have a chance to ice it. Nets are playing better. Kendall Gill, it's a long 2, and he's got it. The lead is 4. Watch again, Matt Geiger doing his best to distract Gill while shooting. That's about all he could do from there. Gill still hit it, and the Nets still won it. Don't look now.
Their first mistake. Reese gains the steal. The alley-oop to Marcus Maven. Cardinals up 11. Under a minute in the first half. Maven on D. He's a thief. Maven has been lifting. Louisville ends the half on a 14-2 run. 50-35 Cardinals at the break. Second half, more Louisville. Nate Johnson. The block is hot. A season-high 31 points. Louisville knocking off North Carolina. The Tar Heels losing here to resident Fairfield, who they destroyed a year ago. Boston, the rebound, outlet, Kevin Freeman. Spinorama on the dunk. UConn led 36-28 at the break. Freeman, 14 points for him. Khalid El Amin, 1 for 13 from the field. Suleiman Wan, nice rebound and put back. 64-46 UConn. Late in the game, the freshman, Justin Brown. Block party for him. UConn running. The freshman, Tony Robertson, one-handed yet with a flush. Huskies no
covered in the second half. That's Swin Cash with a rebound and goes the wrong way. She's the Jim Marshall of college basketball. She got the defensive rebound and put it in the wrong bucket. Watch her. She's boxing out the shooter. She does that well and then inexplicably just puts it in. Gina Oriema, even Justin Love.
From outside. Billikens up 37-35 at the half. Second half, more Love in the house. Maurice Jeffers has a nice relationship with Love. Huge jam. 27 points for Love. Billikens up 7. St. Louis didn't quit there. Dave Ferguson likes the space. And then the dish to Justin Tatum. What do you think of this shrimp? The old-fashioned bounce pass. Another dunk. 45-31 Portland. Wallace continues his domination of Golden State. This time, all air to Wallace with a finish. 15 points in the first half. I think he's got 17, though. Trying to do it again against Houston. Mobley, the alley-oop to Steve Francis. Francis, 16 points, 11 assists for the rookie. Rockets up 12 in the fourth. Mobley, former Rhode Island star, is a thief, stripping Mitch Richmond. Here we go the other way. He's driving, and he's fouled. Mobley with 20. Rockets would start to pull away. Mobley getting more confidence as the game went along. The dish to Kelvin Cato. Cato with 20. Rockets with a win, 105-89.
Start just a few seconds in. Vlade Divac, Chris Webber, 2-0 Kings. Webber 19 in the first half. Clippers, meanwhile, trouble finishing. Piatkowski, that's just not good. Kings were up 7-5. Late in the first, Clippers by 2. Jason Williams for Chris Webber. That's as good a combination as there is in the game right now. Ties it at 16. Then it's Lamar Odom. He's fun to watch. Clippers up 20-16. And late in the first quarter, watch as Odom and Corliss Williamson getting tangled up a little bit, both getting technical fouls, getting a little...
1 of 9 for him, Isaiah Ryder. Chocolate drop, just sweet with the finish. 30 points for Ryder, 41 points in the second would the Hawks score. Anthony Johnson finding Ryder, who shares to LaFonso Ellis. Ellis with 17.
There's Michael Finley. Over Jason Kidd. Finley with a triple. 33, 13, and 13. Mavs by 4. 15 seconds left. Suns trying. Cliff Robinson. No, but he's got his own rebound. And he's got Todd Day in the corner. Day, Isaac, tries it, buys it. He had 18, 5 out of 8 from 3. The lead was cut to 1. Under 4 seconds left. Suns down 3. Cliff Robinson, a 2-pointer. His foot was on the line. Robinson had 30, but the Suns were still down 1. 1.4 remaining. Suns need to foul. Said Ceballos bringing it in. Damon Jones. Suns don't get him, and the Mavs win by 1. 111-110. A good one.
2 goals in this one, and Weeks with 36.
Randy Johnson. They don't want to lose this one. Edney going the distance. He knows he just caught a big one. Into the lead by more than a foot.
Herbie Puckett had a single, a triple, he stole a base, run batted in, run scored. Into deep left center. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
Leitner with the side, and it scores. And Dupin.
Get in the air to right center field and deep. Ken Griffey Jr. leaps. Does he have it? Yes, he does. An incredible catch.
Lets it go. He's got 3 people down there. The ball's up in the air. Caught. Touchdown. Room, board, tuition, and I'll tell you what, Robin, I'll throw in the books, baby. Go! Get the smoke going! Get it going!
Still to come here on Brett Barry. Spliggity sploosh sploosh. He hit 5 of 9. Spurs up 1 after 1, and Fred, the T-Wolves had no answer for GP early.
They did. He's showing his versatility, working off the screen, bumps, gets the free. You can't go behind. He knocks it down. Again, screen roll time. This time with the ball. Peeler tried to go under. That's a no-no. He knocks down the 3.
Sonics hit 9 trays in the first half, up a third quarter. Somebody woke up Terrell Brandon. The floater goes. More Brandon. On Barry, in his mouth with the jumper. Brandon all up in the zone. On Barry again. One of his 13 made field goals after 3. Wolves up 1. Fourth quarter, drama. Brandon, the miss. KG, one-hand board. The lay-in, the foul. Wolves on a 10-0 run, now up 9. Now we flash back to December 8th. He went to ball, y'all. Stephon ready to go with his fellow young star. Second quarter in transition. Iverson strong to the hole for the layup. 21 first half points for Ivy. He had 11 of 26 in the entire contest. Then off the steal, Stephon Marbury. Going in for a bowl of jambalaya. Nets up 10 at the break. Fourth quarter, Iverson breaking them down. Shake and bake. You know what, Steph? Don't take it personal. He did it to Jordan as well. 42 for Iverson. He's bringing them back. Nets up 96-94. 43 seconds to go. Iverson, chance to tie. The jumper does not go. Same possession. Kendall Gill The long two. The tippy toes on the line, so he gets 2 for that. Watch Geiger trying to jack him up with the yelling. Might have worked.
And he does it well, too. Getting in the lane, getting a little flipper up. The little quick guy from Arizona. This is what Lenny Wilkins wants. Up-tempo, get the open floor. He forces defense back, knocks down the jumper. One more time, pushing the ball down the floor. He finds Ryder. He's got 30 on the night, and he's got nothing but toughness. He lays it in.
Ryder hit 13 of 31, Fred. Great finishes in the game. Brad Miller gets the block. Mason picks it up, gives it to Ricky Davis. He lays it in. Hornets once down by 19, now down by 10. Now at the end of the third, Hornets down by 4. Armstrong thinks he has a layup. Robinson says no. Hornets with the 5-on-2. Davis looking for Robinson. Rookie to rookie nookie. Quarter.
With the emphatic rejection.
It starts with Shaquille. He's made himself a more intimidating presence inside.
He's letting them know, this is my area. If you come in here, you got to deal with me.
Shot blocked by Shaq.
So far in his career in Los Angeles, Shaquille O'Neal's game has been synonymous with offense. But it has been his defense this season that has lifted the Lakers to the best record in the league. Knowing that it would take time for the Lakers to learn the ways of the triangle offense, Phil Jackson asked his star center to be the centerpiece of their defense.
First, it can't be told Shaq that he's going to go back to his old defensive ways in Orlando, blocking a lot of shots, causing a lot of havoc. And for his last couple of years, he was only, like 6th or 7th in the league in blocks. He needed to be back up in the top 2.
So far, Shaq is keeping his end of the deal, blocking more than 3 shots a game for the first time since his rookie year with the Magic.
The first year I came to the Lakers, I didn't have any injuries. In second and third year, even last year, I had a lot of, stomach injuries, knee injuries. And I was a step or two too slow, but I'm injury-free this year. I'm back to where I was.
It's just the focus. It's just trying to get focused on what he's got to do as a leader in this team. And we've taken the focus that we got to be a good defensive team first, and we're talking about offense second.
L.A. allowed 96 points a game last season, finishing 25th in the league. Shaq's renewed presence this year has the Lakers allowing only 89 points per game, vaulting them among the NBA's defensive elite.
That's the key. That we definitely wouldn't have this many wins if it wasn't for us kind of digging in defensively and pulling some games out.
We've been a really good defensive team simply because we've become make teams shoot jump shots, and we're cleaning up the boards. That's been the difference, and make teams earn the basket. So we can be really good later on, and I don't know how good we can be, but I think we're pretty stifling at times.
I think we're just really, just on the tip of the iceberg because we really haven't spent enough time on it. And it just takes time, and I guess I can't wait to see how much better we can get. We can definitely become a much better basketball team. Shaquille has set the tone with his defense and rebounding and block shots. I think we can be a much better individual defending team, which will make our team defense much better. It could be scary, very scary.
What I like about him is versatility, his ability to get up and down the floor, to finish going to the basket, and also tremendous shot blocker, especially from the weak side.
It's a race with a bad leg.
Carter to the basket. Oh! Feel me, baby, when I move like this. Oh, no! He did not do that!
Out of all your dunks, what's your best, do you think, and what's your favorite?
One that nobody talked about was against Chicago. It was here. I did a windmill in transition off the fast break off one leg.
Did you dunk on David Robinson this year?
Vince Carter, who tries it on grab for the dunk.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did.
And Tim Duncan?
Yeah, he was amusing. he was around. He was around.
Do you remember a point last year where you realized, oh, not only do I belong here, but I can flourish here?
Probably against Indiana when I got the dunk, what they call the dunk. After that night, I just felt I can do this for a long time.
How do you keep from being labeled the next Dominique Wilkins? Human highlight film number 2, a lot of dunks, nice guy, but never perceived as a champion.
Continue to do the things, the other things. So whether it's hitting the big shot, getting and penetrating, getting to the open man. And I always felt that, why not talk about it?
if you want to be about it, so to speak. I said it. I stepped up last year at the end of the year and said this team is going to get it to the playoffs. So it's right here.
A routine baseline dunk on somebody, that's first 7 at 11 o'clock SportsCenter. But a 360 tomahawk, that's a pre-show opener. And if it's really special, night lights at 6:30 the next day. That means I get to see myself dunk 12 times in 18 hours. I mean, of course, if I had time. I'm a busy man, you know?
Doing a commercial like that, does that help fuel the perception that this guy just wants to watch himself dunk?
Big time. Whatever the outside world thinks, that's fine, you know? But I guarantee they're still going to look on SportsCenter to see what highlights Vince did that night.
Vince Carter down the middle, change direction. Oh, slam dunk.
How do you avoid the comparison? You've heard it, you will hear it, you always hear it, and you hate it. But it's a compliment, and it's a burden. Vince Carter, the next of the next Michael Jordan.
It is a compliment. Don't get me wrong, by far it's a compliment. But it's all about your own identity. You always want to be your own man. Like I say, it all comes with time and patience. After a while, I'm praying it's gonna fade away, and they're gonna say, okay, this is what he can do. This is the thing he can do. The next one kid coming up in maybe 10, 15 years is gonna say, oh, he's the next Vince Carter.
Thanks a lot, Stu. So far tonight.
Even if he didn't let on that it was a problem, I knew internally that, you know, he had to be hurting. I mean, this was not a normal situation.
I see in Juan an inner strength to be disciplined and to be focused and to have goals and objectives.
The goal and objective was to replace Steve Francis at Maryland. The Terps' new outside scoring threat is still working on that.
The clock ticks down to 11. Looking for the win. Dixon baseline. Bullseye!
But the strength and discipline he's had in abundance, and for a long time, ever since high school, when Juan Dixon first lost his father, then his mother, both to heroin addiction.
There's been times where, like, I've been with my mother where we was out doing something else, and then she gets sidetracked by hooking up with the wrong crowd. So, you know, it's been very difficult.
They got high, but it never was like they lost touch with us. You know, they was there for us, and they never abandoned us as far as putting us in the hands of a stranger, as far as doing those drugs in front of us.
When they had to sign up for leagues and for school, they had to always give their parents' address, and if their parents were incarcerated, then they were ashamed to do stuff like that.
They would go in the bathroom, and of course, if you got common sense, you know what they was doing in the bathroom. That's when I say it was times that we probably could have stepped in and did something. But let's just say we did step in and open that door, and you see your mother with a needle in her arm or something. That would have been shocking right there.
We went around trying to search for, you know, like, you know, needles or things that my mother had in the house. And there's one time that me and my grandmother found something, and we, you know, threw it right in the trash, and my mother wouldn't have any access to it.
Just couldn't accept that was our mother and father actually doing drugs like that. I mean, you know, especially even when we found out that my mother had AIDS, man. I think we went through a period where it was a period of denial. From there, everything just went downhill. My mother got really ill, and then that's when we found out my father had full-blown AIDS.
By December of 1995, both Dixon parents were dead.
You want to say that you're glad they out of that situation, but like I said, I would take them back. Full-blown AIDS, it wouldn't matter just to have them here.
I miss my mom and dad a lot, you know. Like, I try not to think about it too much. I don't want to get down, you know. I get in, you know, some sad moods once I think about my parents.
Because your mother and father do things like that, they in drugs, it helped the kid to mature a little faster. So we didn't have no choice but either to go right or to go wrong. So we chose to go right.
From the dark shadows of city streets to the bright lights of City Hall, Juan Dixon's tragic circle of life has always included a comforting, extraordinary extended family, which extends all the way into this room. Outside, Juan is just another citizen. But in here, his Aunt Sheila is the first black woman ever elected president of the Baltimore City Council.
He had class that night, and he called and left a message on the machine that he was proud of me, and he congratulated me. He helped me out a little bit this summer. Campaigned a couple times, yeah.
But that was nothing compared to the nurturing the Dixon family has done to protect its own. Besides older brother Phil, Juan has a younger sister, Nicole, and brother, Jermaine. Then there's their maternal grandmother, Roberta Graves.
She raised us ever since, I think I was like 4 or 5. That's when we started to live with her, and she's just been there for us, like, our whole life.
There's his cousin, Cherise Stryver.
I've grown up with a loving mother and family, and I just want to see the same for them. They couldn't have their mother, so wherever I can fit in is how I want to fit in.
Then there's the tough guys, paternal aunts Janice and Sheila.
I'm just a very hard person with Juan and his brother. Juan borrows my car breaks down. Well, what are you calling me for? Get it back here.
We kind of gave him the tough love versus his other side of the family gave him the warm and fuzzy love.
Juan is very appreciative of what the members of his family have done for him when he lost his parents. I think he's really proud of the fact that he's given something back to his new family.
Which in turn provides Juan and Phil with sweet memories of Christmas.
Go Christmas!
I remember one Christmas that I really spending with my parents. I was like 4 or 5. So that was a long time ago. That was a fun Christmas. That's the last Christmas that I remember spending with my parents. It's tough, when you gather as a family, and because my mother was I would say she was like a centerpiece of this family. Everybody missed her, and everybody feel her love.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
I try to say thank you as much as possible, man. I don't get a chance to tell everybody in my family how much I really love them and how much they look out for me and help me through life. But, every opportunity I get, I at least try to tell everybody that I love them, try to give them a big hug and kiss.
Onto the season last spring by taking the Utah Jazz to the limit in a very entertaining opening round playoff series. The future looks even brighter. How did Sacramento, once an NBA outpost, turn things around? Well, it starts at the top with 2 less than conventional owners. The move in Las Vegas, they travel to all the home games. Chris Webber had seemed destined for stardom, but those expectations were never fulfilled. Then, after arriving reluctantly last season, he blossomed. Vlade Divac came to the Kings and added much-needed leadership. And last season, the team took a chance on flashy rookie Jason Williams. He's become one of the most exciting players in the league. It's an eclectic mix, but it sure is fun to watch. And thus, after never appearing on NBC during the season the last 9 years, the Kings are now on the schedule 9 times this season. It's a Hollywood script that has inspired a movie.
We look basketball in different eyes. It's not, like most of the guys looking as a business. We look, as a fun.
14 of us get along in the locker room, outside the locker room, and that's going to carry us a long way.
Our critics are always going to say we're too flashy. No matter how much we win or if we lose, it's going to happen. But, that's why we don't care about our critics. That's why we're out here in this little old town by ourselves trying to get some wins.
They have equaled the all-time NBA low for a quarter. Yes, the door's been closed a long time.
Just felt like this was someplace that I didn't want to be because I wanted to win.
The Kings say hello to Chris Webber. Talent with a capital T. Trouble with a capital T.
I didn't know anything about Chris, before, and only I knew it through the media. So when I came here, I was totally shocked. It's a different man. And I'm going to tell you, this guy who I love so much. I'm so happy that I'm playing with him. I think he's a great guy, the greatest guy I've met in the NBA. I really feel we got a vicious career. Everything just seems to fit together. The way that we pass, the way we play on the floor, a lot of personality, our personality. I think guys just really get along together. And once that first smile cracked on the court and everybody just started laughing, we knew we probably had something pretty good.
owners in an ivory tower. I mean, we get with the fans. I think to understand what fans want, you have to be with them.
Hey, name's Ron Coleman. Hey, Ron. I just want to thank you guys for what you've done here. It's great. We're loving it.
About a year before, we actually bought controlling interest of the team. And he went to buy a shirt, a T-shirt. He said, ask the clerk, where are the Sacramento Kings jerseys? And he said, what is that, hockey? He said, no, NBA, the Sacramento Kings. And the clerk told my brother Gavin, he says, well, why are you so interested? Gavin says, because I own the team. And the guy says, boy, that's too bad.
When I retire, me and you go to Yugoslavia and be on a team. Come back.
Which team?
No, you pick it.
Huh?
You pick it.
I'm going to be 60, man.
All right, just take the ball out of bounds. I do all the shooting.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I feel like, you know, they're my youngest brothers. So, you know, when I look back in my career and remember how Magic, you know, dealt with me when I came from Europe, I can use that experience now with the Kings. Definitely, you know, I'm trying to do everything I can to help Chris and Jason and everybody else on the team to make us a good team. To me, the best thing about Vlade is just his personality. Just, you know, Vlade, I mean, he could be the smartest guy in one situation, and he could be naive in another situation, just, you know, because he's from a different place in the language or whatever. And he's just, I think the best thing about him is his sense of humor. So I think and the timing of his jokes and the timing of his sense of humor, I think, is the best thing about Vlade.
Jason quickly into the front court. Oh, behind the back dribble, into the lane, finger roll flip, magic from Jason Williams.
A lot of times after the game, I come home and just watch the games just because of Jason. You know, sometimes he does so fast that you can catch it. You know, you go back home and watch the games and you just go, wow, you know, these guys is amazing. He's flashy, but I think everything he does is out of necessity. It's not, he doesn't do it to try to be flashy. He likes that, I bet, but, you know, he does it because that's the most effective way, and that's the way he grew up playing. And this guy's on go. 100 miles. He's trying to sit here, look all innocent. That's how, I bet that's how I used to hit his pops when he was little, like a little innocent. I ain't gonna do nothing, Dad, just hyper.
We get along so well. I think that helps so much on the court when we get out there. You know, no one cares who scores, or no one cares who passes the ball. You know, it's just win. That's all we want to do.
Chris, I think he's the MVP of our team. You know, last year, this year, and Jason is the future of this team, and I'm here just to make sure that the team goes right. I just feel like it's up to us. You know, we can't guarantee the future, but you know, we can damn sure try to make sure that we have some say on the outcome of how we're going to be in this new season.
Well, if we're going to call them the one, 13 points. They went to the half tied at 50, and early in the third, look at the bottom left of your screen, the Knicks' Kurt Thomas, Pacers' Jalen Rose involved in an altercation. Both were ejected despite the fact that Rose never took a swing at Thomas. Pacers responded with a 12-6 run down the stretch. Reggie Miller, three-pointer. He finished with a game-high 26, the final 101-9.
I know I didn't throw a punch, but at the same time, I felt that they probably reacted the way they did because it was an altercation. It's Christmas Day, the world's watching. And I felt that, you know, they felt that was the safe thing to do. Like I said, it was unfortunate I wasn't out there to help my teammates, but, you know, I'm just excited about our team winning.
Nice win for the Pacers. Haven't lost.
Did a great job on
Jaren Jackson. The power and the explosion of Kobe Bryant just takes off and accelerates. The tremendous finish, and listen to this crowd. He is electrifying them here with his move. Remaining in the fourth quarter. Yet another look. Kobe Bryant with the explosion, and the Lakers lead by 7. jump shot. Kobe Bryant.
Lynch behind the back. 6 assists for Iverson. Sixers up 4 after 3. Late fourth quarter. We are all tied at 86. Vin Baker, 20-footer, wide open. No good. Horace Grant called for over the back. Sixers convert the free throws and now have a 4-point lead with less than 24 seconds to go. Gary Payton pull up 3. No. And he lets his frustrations out on the scorer's table, giving it a little boot. This is Gary. Picks up his second technical and got ejected, but by that point, we're going the other way. Tim Thomas hits Ray Allen, who hits, and the foul. Take another look. Tacked by Anthony Carter, and Ray gets the friendly home roll. Bucks by 15 at the half. For the third quarter, Bucks up 7. Sam Cassell, long alley-oop to Ray Allen. Bucks up 11, and Glenn Robinson finished it off in the fourth quarter, scoring 13 of his game-high.
Early first quarter, Muggsy Bogues looking for Carter, and Andrew DeClerc gets posterized. Fourth quarter, Cavs playing tough. Andre Miller looking for Cedric Henderson. No. Mark Bryant, yes. Part of an 11-0 run. Cavs up by 5. Late in the fourth, tied at 88, and guess who comes calling? Vince, the pull-up for 3 that touches nothing but the bottom of the net. Next time down the court, Carter to Charles Oakley. You can't leave him open 15 feet away, still deadly. Oak closes the door, but Carter entertains the folks. Drive dishes. Chris Webber takes over from there. Third quarter, here come the Mavericks. Down 13, Gary Trent to Michael Finley. Back to Trent. Trent had 20. Mavs down 11. Here come the Kings. Webber the steal. Williams. Webber. Webber had 31. Kings had a victory by the final of 118-111. Williams goes for 23 and 8.
We are compliant. We're in control from the start. Jason Kidd knocks away the outlet pass. And this is just ridiculous. The ball does not touch the ground as Rodney Rogers converts. Suns up 4. Third quarter, Phoenix up 71-57. Kidd to Cliff Robinson. Back to Kidd. Suns up 16. And all this, the sharing is contagious. Fourth quarter, Todd Day, no look to Rogers. High percentage finish. Suns on cruise control, win by 20 as the Warriors have dropped 9 straight in Phoenix. Cliff Robinson, 25 points and 11.
Hasselbeck to put it down. A fake. Hasselbeck to quarterback. He throws. It is caught by Thomason for the touchdown.
New Mexico tonight, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Gardner shovels it out.
Breaks through at the 10. Utes move to the right to the 5 of the end zone. Touchdown.
Oh, Vince Carter. Oh, Vince. 4-0 in this tourney. Tick, 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 tick. First half, Hoosiers up 18. Lynn Washington. Well, that was an easy steal. That was an easy dunk. Easy for me to say. He had 14. Hoosiers up 24 at the half. Second half, they played the second half. Washington, the sweet look to Kirk Haston.
Haston with 20 points and 8 boards. Of Ohio State, yelling out the name of the school they're playing to his players. That's Oakland of Michigan. Michael Redd steals the ball into Brian Brown. Mr. Redd, Mr. Brown, Colonel Mustard in the house. The Oakland coach, Greg Camp, not happy, and he doesn't own his own jacket. Later in the second half, Ohio State, Scooney Penn into George Reese for the...
Look out.
Mush. Rolling. Perhaps kicking Gary Tarkanian's towel.
Teams at home and facing George Mason. I don't believe they're in the ACC. Ron Dixon to Terrence Morris. Gary Williams is not happy, even though he's winning. Morris now, the inbound pass to the streaking Dixon, winning that figure.
Ron Dixon
37-36 Terps at the half, and a mighty roar went up from the crowd. Second half, we're still tied at 51. Lonnie Baxter, huge block off the other way. Baxter is there to follow the miss, follow the ball to the basket.
Michael Vick and Michael
Eldon Campbell. Hornets by 14 after 1. That was actually a statue of Mutombo under the basket. They wheeled that off. Second quarter, more Hornets. David Wesley, Ricky Davis, big finish. Hornets by 15 at the break. In the third, Bobby Phills with the shot, Alfonso Ellis with the block, and away we go. Jason Terry, Allen Henderson, 3-on-2 break, Bong, and they fouled him. They fouled him on the way down. Hawks within 6. Later in the third, Terry, the Hornets in transition, Brad Miller to Phills, and the Hornets win 108-108.
With the ball. Stockton had missed a couple free throws. Jason Kidd with a game winner. No. Jason Kidd had a great game, but not enough. 16 points, 12. All the way, no. But Antoine Jameson hustling and following. Right now, it's 47.
November 28th, through the Pacers know no such holiday depression, and they indeed are in the spirit of giving. Fancy like Mark Jackson and Dale Davis. Davis very much involved in this ball game. Reggie Miller, they say he's good from there. Indiana up 14. End of the first quarter. Austin Crozier. Dickie Simpkins, you can pick up your jock at the Lost and Found. Pacers by 18 after 1. Second half, more where that came from. Jackson looking ahead to Miller, and Miller dunking. Indiana up 22. More Reggie, please. Crozier, Reggie. Bottoms and the Pacers. They handle the Hornets for the 9th straight time in this series. David Wesley, Ricky Davis with...
The Suns visit Utah, Stockton the steal, and Karl Malone will be following this. Circus ball. Utah by 10 after 1. Second quarter, it's Rodney Rogers time. Makes the sidearm bounce pass to Uncle Cliffy, and the Suns are up by a deuce at the break. In the third, Suns continue to move the ball well. Another triple-double for Jason Kidd. Behind the back...
Tony, during your career, you had some great runs. I mean, you were, they should have called you, instead of TD, LD for long distance. But, you know, you had some spectacular plays. But what was the most spectacular play in your career as you look back?
Well, the most memorable, I guess, in most people's minds would be the 99-yard run that I made on Monday Night Football against Minnesota up in the Metrodome. And, of course, you had a big part to do in that. You know, when I broke through the line of scrimmage there, made a cut to the right and was going down the sideline there, it was 2 defenders, yourself and myself. And after watching you going down the field a little bit, and you know, your legs are going all which way, and I'm saying, oh, Drew's running out of steam. So I figured at that time I'd make a move and try to let you shield the one defender, and I'll try to get around, and hopefully the other guy wouldn't knock me out of bounds. And fortunately for me, he didn't. And it ended up in a, as we would call it, a coast-to-coast.
Tony Dorsett, TD, those initials seem to have fit you perfectly during your career with the Dallas Cowboys and Denver Broncos. And in my opinion, you were the greatest running back that ever played a game, because I know what you had to go through on a daily basis to get yourself ready to play week in and week out. I know it wasn't easy, and we rode your back to a lot of victories, and I really appreciate that. And it was a pleasure for me to come back to the Dana Point Resort and to take a look back at your fabulous career on Greatest Sports Legends.
Tony Dorsett, one of the most exciting running backs ever to play in the NFL. A man who was a threat to break a game wide open in the wink of an eye. And a man who thrilled fans around the league with his unbelievable moves.
Way outside to the lefty stroke bingo. Blazers up by 4. More from that Blazers bench. Jermaine O'Neal kicking it out to Anthony, who was feeling it and filling it up. Blazers up by 5 at the break. Damon Stoudemire, starting point guard. Where is Damon? There he is. Running some floor. And then he pulls up and knocks down the J. The Blazers getting a lot of help out of the point guard position. Damon again. Third quarter winding down. If you need a buzzer beating, Damon's your man. The runner, he does windows. First play of the fourth quarter. Stoudemire at it again, going deep. He had 20. Portland up by 14. Running a 3 straight.